Well, this is Low Whisper with Rust for the PC. I was going to do another quick video on starting out with Rust. If you're new to the game or have always wanted to play, I play PvE, player versus environment, these days over the PvP. I like the building aspect and gardening and different things within the game, and fighting NPCs and whatnot, raiding bases, you can still do. So I was just searching through some modded PvE. Found this Rustaholics PvE. If you find a server that you like, just click this little button here and that'll save it in your favorites. So what we're going to do right now is check this one out. Rateable NPCs, so we'll jump in here and see how we like this server. The good thing is you can go from server to server to server, or I sometimes play on 2 or 3 different servers during the month. Different servers have different things to offer, different plugins, teleportation, sometimes decay is turned off, sometimes it's at 50%, so it just depends on the server. When you find a good server that you like playing on and the people are friendly, you have all the plugins that you like. But as always, we will spawn somewhere, normally right on the beach, and we'll see where we're at. And one of the first things we need to do is, find out where you're at. Find out where you can go for things like food and different materials and weapons and armor as the game goes along. Have to watch out for wild animals, scientists. Some servers have hordes of zombies running around. Some just kind of hang out at the different filling stations, gas stations, and that kind of thing. So we'll be popping in here momentarily. But 2 important things: you always need that food before you starve to death. You're always going to need water. Some foods like pumpkins, for instance, that gives you both a decent amount of food and water at the same time. Abandoned gas stations are a great place to find little trays with food and water and things like that in them. Mushrooms are in the wooded areas, so you can always find little green areas on the map. And again, if you're just starting to play Rust and you have children around, when you first start Rust, if you don't have a filter on, you're just totally nude and everything is hanging out. So if you don't want to see that, and I'll show you momentarily how we can change that to your liking. I usually just look real quick just to see. You have to agree, and most of the rules are pretty straightforward. Don't be a complete jerk on the server. This is not a PvP server. Some come in and try to kill everything they see or get into your base or different things. So it's always good to check out this information. We are going to do that. However, I right now am more concerned about where we're at. As you see, we're in the snow country. There's a base right here. So first thing we want to do in this particular case, I want to get to this supermarket right here. And that will have some food, some water. As you see in the bottom right, our food's getting down there. By the way, when you hold G down on the map, if you right click, you can put that. Oh, well, look what we just discovered. This server has, if you open the map by holding G down, you right click on an area, like for instance the supermarket. Oh, I can't teleport to it, but I bet you I can be right here. As you see, we're real close now to if you ever have a torch, by the way, you can hit things with this torch. Sometime it'll chase an animal away if they're trying to kill you. But while you're holding the torch, in this case, it's 2 position on the hotbar. Just right click while you're holding it, and you will light the torch. As you see, our area is lit up down here. Luckily, on this particular server, as you notice, even though we're in the snow, as you can see, there's a bunch of zombies there. So I'm going to go in here and close that door. And some servers, when you loot things, you'll have this up here. You can loot all, for instance, if you want all of it. You can just pick up the clothes, you can, whatever the case may be. So it's interesting a lot of times when you go to a new server, because they're all different in one way or another. When you come up with these, this is actually a blueprint, and if you have not done this already, you could just learn blueprint. That way, you can now make that item. Be down here in electrical. You see it right here, water pump. You have your favorites. You can just click the star and make them your favorites, which I have done over time. Construction and just items. What is this here? That's an advent calendar. Huh. Oh, hi guys. Sometimes animals, and this particular zombie seems to not be real excited about the torch. Bottom left, these are Z levels, your wood cutting, your mining, your skinning, your acquiring. As you go through the game and you start chopping trees and mining ore and skinning animals you've killed, acquire, picking things up off the ground, wood, or whatever the case may be. Could be mushrooms, it could be all sorts of things. These will have the food in this little tray here. I'm trying to stay weary of, I don't know what the zombies are doing, but there's one there. Just gonna grab it all so I can get out of the building. Yeah. Come over here. There's always a ladder on this one. Go up a little bit first before I get there. I'll go up here. A lot of times there's one right here. Basically, you want to find anything that will help you, number one, stay alive, and number two, you want to be able to learn blueprints, as we're doing here. Here's some candy. That works pretty good, as you notice, for your food. Doesn't do much for water, but it when you find these bottles, if you put them in your hot pot, like that's 4, for instance, and just hit your left mouse button when you're holding it. And as you see, you drink water. And as you notice, when you bring your food and water up, it does improve your hit points there. You have 100 to start with. Right now it's about 69, so that's really not too bad. For right now, I am going to save this water bottle. Now, in this particular modded server, if you press M, for instance, is how I have mine set up. Oh, look, the helicopter just appeared. Oh, somebody's getting a hard helicopter. Oh, look. You see a little bit of the northern lights tonight. That's kind of cool. M, on this modded server, you have what we call a backpack. So in this particular case, I'm going to start throwing stuff into the backpack. Now, this is scrap. This is the economy where it all revolves around scrap, is like money in Rust. Got all this extra food, and I'm going to drop one water bottle because I do have another one already. So I'll just put this right here for now. I'm going to save this food for right at the moment. This server has many times over multiplier. When you find items, you notice 2,400 high quality metal and 850, This is pickles. That gives you, as you can see, hydration, calories, and healing. I'll throw them there for now. But what happens when you eat a pickle? It's either going to help you or it's going to hurt you. So kind of 50-50 there, so to speak. So we'll leave that right there for now. And I'll put this candy over here too. This red berries you can use later on to make teas. And I will save that right now. But all this other things we found, it is good to have a decent weapon to defend yourself to some degree, other than a stone, a rock, a snowball. As you see, the salvage sword, this is good for 50 damage. And it's this bottom flesh gatherer. So if you kill a wild boar or an animal and you try to skin it, this number here will tell you how good it is going to skin that animal. For instance, 50 damage, that's at a 10. This one's 75 damage. It still has the same flesh gather rate. So in this case, I'm going to keep this one right here because it just does a lot more damage. We got two of those. I'm going to save this because we can use that to do some solar power. This is actually armor, heavy pants, armor pants, but it's hard to move in them. We do have a weapon here. We have 7 rounds of ammo. So for the minute, I'm going to leave it right up in here in the backpack because I only have 7 rounds, so I'm not going to be killing a whole bunch of stuff with that because, well, just don't have any rounds. So it is good. You see this weapon does 38 in damage. The range is very, very short at 90. Now, this weapon takes like these 22 rounds, it looks like. It looks just like a 22. So let's just, for right now, we'll put these up here and we'll save those. Soon as we can, we will go about making and finding more ammo. So during the night, it did respawn the boxes. So we're gonna get a whole lot of stuff real quick. This hazmat suit I'm gonna keep for right now. This is great. Well, we could wear it actually. I'm also wanted to show you, and I apologize, got to talking. If you go, just hit escape key, go down here to options. See right here. And you can see under censorship, nudity. So you can change this to pixelated, uncensored, just everything's all hanging out. I usually just leave the underwear on, or you could do the pixelated, and it kind of just pixelates everything. But I think I like the, just go back to the underwear look. I think it's fine. Tab always opens. Your inventory. Crafting you can do from here. So enter. You can kind of see what's going on. Right now we're in the speak for the whole server. Things will show up here, either from the server itself or the different players. If we look around the screen, you can see currently there is 9 people playing, including myself, and there's 519 people sleeping. So this, when it gets going, you can see there's a lot of people on this server. Now here we go. We've got a great pistol, the revolver, the Python. As you can see, this was good for 38 damage and 90 range. This is good for 55 damage and 72 range. The Python also takes that same exact ammo there. So again, now we have 2 weapons, and we do have this little guy here too. That's 40 damage. It's actually more than the Thompson. And again, this particular pistol, same exact ammo. So as you can see, we're starting to get some weapons together and a little bit of ammo as we go, and we're getting more things. Now this is actually armor. Normally you might not wear it too much, anything metal in a cold zone, because it's going to take hit points from you just because it's so cold. But in this case, this server has that turned off. You can also just put on this hazmat suit, and as you notice, we had nothing there. Put that on. Protection from explosions, 5%. A little bit better in the cold, 8%. Protection from radiations at 50%, which is huge. And protection from animals at 8%. So that's better than nothing. So right now I'm just going to throw this over here. And we're going to recycle all of these things, because I don't really need any of these things. You can see the zombies are still kind of running around there. As you can see, we're at an abandoned supermarket. They typically always have a recycle, as you can see right here. That's what it looks like. So when you see that yellow way off and the green, you know it's a recycler. As you notice, the zombies won't come in here. They'll come close, but they won't come through there. So, and just start throwing all this stuff in here, and you end up with, we get the metal fragment, we get the scrap, get a little cloth, get some wood. So depending on what you're recycling, you can come up with all sorts of things. We do need wood, and we do need stone. We do need cloth. Cloth you get either by recycling clothing or by finding hemp plants and picking the hemp plant. Now, when you see this tech trash, it's a good thing to keep, you want to have some of it because that's what you use to, let's see what's going on here. Huh. That's weird. Can't put it in my inventory. So we got some metal fragrance, got a ton of high quality metal, and we're getting a good amount of scrap already. As far as cloth, we don't have much yet. I am going to throw this over here because we do need to get us, well, what I'm going to do is see if I can run around the corner and into this roof. And yeah, I figured this was, this is a good way to, even if zombies are about, you can safely make it. I'm just going to recycle that tech trash. Now this server has a big multiplier on when you loot boxes, barrels, whatever, then you will find a lot of even modded servers. So how much stuff you get depends a lot on the server itself. Got a little bit of gunpowder there. It's always a good thing to have. So far we've already got a, I guess certain things they just don't let you put in the backpack because I can't put gunpowder in there either. The cloth goes in okay. We can make some bandages, but so what I'm going to do is that same little maneuver, but I'm just going to run right out the front door. It's Christmas time, so as you see there, there's some presents. That one's chasing me a little bit. We'll loot those guys too. See, and you saw there I received 10 for killing that zombie dude. Another tip when you're fighting, whether they're zombies, NPCs, or anything else, always aim for the head when you can. They die a lot quicker. As you see over there, you can see something falling, sparkly. Well, this is around Christmas, so you're going to see Santa and his reindeer on the sleigh come by, and he drops a giant present, and there's one coming down right there. So if somebody's not already over there, we'll be able to loot that. That's like an airdrop loot, but it just looks like a giant present. Here's some ore here. We're going to have to get some wood and stone and get a tool here so we can make pickaxe, and then we can collect the ore, and then we can make a furnace coming up, and we can turn that into metal we can use. Same thing with the high quality. As you notice, there's a bunch of zombies. So we'll have to try to see if, are they hanging out around the present, or do they just happen to be walking by? That's the big question. I think they maybe just be in the neighborhood, walking by. So we'll hold back here just a little bit. And I want to get out of the cold country here and get over here into the warm area. Oh, somebody just ordered an extreme heli attack, so ooh. You see, there they are right there. They're coming back this way, so let's do this. Let's go down here. Go up on this rock. Kind of get over here on the corner. As you can see, they're kind of going over there. As you saw, the server just gave me 250 points for activity. A lot of these modded servers reward you by when you play on their server. So one of the things with Rust, especially in the beginning, you have to kind of, if you pay attention to where you're at, where you can go, and things like keep your eye out for, in this case, giant Christmas presents falling slowly to the ground. That's a nice base over there. See that? There's another little group of zombies. Zombies are good a lot of times because they sometimes have some pretty good loot on them, as you saw that one that I killed. Well, that thing I think may just be up there for the rest of the day. Seems to be stuck up there. So let's do this. We know it's right here by T11, so I want to at least go over here. Get some warm. Look at that peak there. That's pretty nice right there. See, there's a little base going on there. Now, you also find ore on the ground, sulfur ore, as you notice. You not only get some shop points, but also you see the acquire there went up. Watch this. See? So, again, this server has that on kind of a maximum, so you get a lot. That's not always the case. Stone, you want to get, definitely. So, we now have 50 wood, but we have 1,000 stone. Don't have much in the way of cloth yet. Usually areas like this are good for, you guessed it, hemp. As you see there, I got a ton of hemp. Just because it's, oh, is this an invisible building? No, I can run right through. Wow. So as you notice, my acquire went up to level 2. One thing I like to do when I get a little bit of wooden stone, in this case, a whole bunch of it, pretty easily and quickly, as you notice, if you go to crafting, go to weapons, you can make a bow with only 200 wood and 50 cloth. So I'm going to make the bow. Then if you go to ammo, you can make some wood arrows. Just hit this button here, and that'll show you how many you can make. So times 2 for each one. So if we do 38, as you can see, we end up with 76. You can save these worms and grubs for fishing. I'm not really worried about that at the moment anyway. So I'm going to save this stone out here. We did go ahead and use that wood up also. Charcoal, you always want to use some charcoal. because you use that to make gunpowder. Like wow, this was already, I didn't even have to, yeah, I didn't even have to put the sulfur ore into a furnace. Wow, that's amazing. And also, you, like I said, you also want to have fuel, low-grade fuel, as you can see. You use that to power everything from minicopters to your furnace to everything, basically. Now, on most servers, you can put things down in the hotbar. Some modded servers, you do, or non-modded servers, you do have to use a planter box. But if you put that down, as you see, it's in hotbar on the 3. If you have a small base, you can get these seeds that you get, and you can plant them right there around your base. So, as you can see here, they've started growing. So I'm going to save these for right now, and I'll show you. We're going to get some more wood and stone here, and from that, I will show you. We'll do a small base design as kind of a starter base kind of thing. But when you first start, you can take this stone, this rock, and if you went up to, let's say this, come on. There. Is it getting charcoal? Why is it only getting charcoal? Well, that's weird. I have never seen it do charcoal before. What's this do? Oh, this does charcoal too. But when you're hitting the trees, you're hitting the ore, either way, if you hit right there where that red X is, you're going to get more than if you don't. For instance, you can see it hits for 30. If you get more where that rock is, you see it's 60. So and the same thing here, when you see this little star looking thing. Sometimes you have to jump right on top, and if you hold down your control key, it makes you squat. But as you can see, when you hit the little but you get the picture. Kind of weird, yeah, I'm getting, well, let's put this here, put this over here, put that in there, and we'll have some, oh, that's right, can't put that in there. And create med kits with the blood. Well, let's see what's over here, shall we? all sorts of stuff in there. There's some wood here. Do you get wood or charcoal? Oh. Well, that's weird. I saved this rope. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how the Rust Gods are pleased. What? The Rust Gods are pleased and have sent us a treasure box. It will unlock in 2 minutes to unveil its epic treasure. The box can be found at AC7. Huh. Let's check this out. AC7. Whoops. What's this way out here? Wow. That's way out in the ocean. A lot of modded servers, if you type in town with the Virgil first, of course, and it just in your conversation. As you see, we're teleporting to town in 15 seconds. There's a hotel over here. Hey, here we are in town. See where we're at here. Here we are. So town is right up here in the snow country. Usually town has not tool cabinets, but it has where you can use the workbenches and things like that. But vending machines are all empty, it looks like. Might be in progress, but here's one of those little furnaces that's what you can use, but it looks like in this server it goes ahead and does it for you. Yeah, there really is no working. Oh, it looks like there's one there. Huh. Teas, I was talking about these earlier. Pretty expensive. As you can see, here's some people sleeping. Some more sleepers. Pop in over here. Where's the... And as I said before in my last video, these little streams here is where you find pumpkins along the banks. So we're going to come over here. You always have to be wary of zombies. There's some right over there. There's a base over there. There's a base up here. Oh, I like the shape of the corners. That's kind of cool. There's some right there. Well, look at that base over there. See that mining level is going up? I have 2,200 stone. Run around, you look for that little, there it is, a little star. Now if you don't want to do that, then you can just hit anywhere on the stone. Still get stone, you just don't get as much of it. Okay. We got plenty of stone. Normally you'd need wood to build. See, and I can't even make these because I have no wood. I don't understand why it only gives charcoal. See? And I'm just sending a message out in general chat. How do you get wood? Don't be afraid to, when you're on a server, if you have a question, especially if you're new or not, for that matter. Usually people are pretty friendly. Sometimes you'll get, fewer sarcasm back, but sometimes they completely ignore you and you don't get anything back. With 10 people on, 9 other people. And there we have it. Is melt. Ah, that's why. Instant smelt was on, so it took the wood and instantly turned it into charcoal, much like the ore, the sulfur ore. That's why I don't like the stone. It's hard to, you don't have much of a reach. I'm going to take this tree down and I will show you we can make our own tools, like a little pickaxe. We can make a little hatchet kind of thing. And we got enough for that. So if you go to your tab and go up here to crafting, since I have both wood and I have stone, you can go here to tools. This is stone hatchet, stone pickaxe. Now, I no longer need this rock. So, for instance, you can go back to the same tree now that I have a pickaxe. It's not only much faster, but you get, if you notice, you also get more wood. And your reach is much greater. You could also, if you had to, you could use this little axe as a weapon. The stone hatchet gives you 15 damage, not much. And this is your flesh gatherer is 10 also. And if you see the pickaxe, 10, but your damage is a little better at 17, but you know, nothing compared to that. But let's save this charcoal. I'm just going to make, I want to go up here on this little rise here. We'll just make a simple little basic starter base. I like these little flat parts on top of the stone. It makes for a nice, you get a pretty good view of below you. So the things you're going to need, I have most of mine in the favorites, but if you go to common, you're going to need a hammer. You're going to need a building plan. You're going to need a tool cupboard. We're going to start there, and from there we will get our other components. I'm not worried about these snowballs. They're pretty worthless. But if you have nothing, then they will work. So I put my hammer and my little building plan in 5 and 6. So if you go to 6, you notice you got some blue there, and you can change that to red by doing, if you go out too far, it changes to red. Red, that means you can't place it. Something's wrong. It'll tell you over on the left when you left click, assets, prefabs, building core, you know, it's hanging off a cliff, so it wouldn't work there. So if you right click your mouse, you go to the building. Now in this particular case, you're either going to do a foundation, which is the square, or you can do a triangle foundation. You can also do a triangle. I tend to like to put mine out exactly on the map in a particular direction. The reason I do that, by left clicking when it's blue, you place that. So as you see, that just kind of made a little area just by left clicking when it's blue. Simple as that. Now we're going to want a door, so you can either do this one, the doorway, which just gives you like a typical door frame. You can do a wall frame, which is like a two-door, or a garage door could be also. So in this case, let's just do a regular doorway. It's blue, so I can left click. That's where I want it. Now, if you put that down and you say, oh, I didn't want that there, you can either grab your hammer, right click, but there's no choice to destroy this. But you can do, it's usually / remove down in chat. Grab your hammer. Not sure why it's not working properly, but let's continue on. We're going to switch to the wall. See, like this one I put in, it just popped into the wrong place. Now this particular server, you just, when you do / remove, you see that red bullseye cursor looking thing? If you just, whatever you're aiming at, hit the left mouse button, and you can see you can remove whatever you want that way. And that'll keep going. As you see, there's 36 seconds left. But if you start building again, that will disable that. So let's go back to, now because this is a modded, more of a building server, like for instance, I've got all this wood, but you never want to leave a base, whether it's a part of a base you haven't even got a roof on yet. You don't want to leave it just like this. You want to grab your hammer. If you right click, as you can see, you can upgrade to stone. We'll do 1 here. So you can either upgrade to wood. Wood is a medium strength building material but vulnerable to fire. If I was to, in a normal modded server even, if I was to just leave my base like this, it would start falling apart very quickly. As you see, it's only got like 10 life on it, so to speak. So if we turn that to stone, suddenly it's 500 instead of 10. If you, let's say if I put this wall in on this side, as you notice, it looks kind of white, the stone. So if you use your hammer, and it has to be pretty close to when you placed it, as you notice, you can rotate it or flip this block to face a different direction. So you want that stone look to be on the outside because that's harder. So if we go back here, you can do a little kind of a stairway kind of thing. On a lot of servers, you can use the up command that are modded for building. You can say like up, 1 is wood, 2 is stone. So we have a good bit of stone, so we're going to say up 2. And boom, as you notice, it changed everything to stone that was wood. 4, I'm going to, every building needs a TC, that's a tool chest. That's what you put in here to keep your base alive. There is maintenance costs to a building normally. Maintain your required amount of resources to prevent your base from decaying over time. Bases left unattended without enough upkeep resources, they'll be destroyed. They'll just slowly disintegrate. So let's just grab we'll grab about a little over 400. That gives us 1 day, 14 hours, 52 minutes, and 10 seconds. So if I was to throw a little more wood, you can see that number change a little bit. As you can see now, it's 1 day, 18 hours. I like to keep it locked. So whether you put a key lock like this on it, selected that, hit your left button, and as you can see, this is now locked. See the red light? If you unlock it, see it's green now. We're going to lock it. And that just protects somebody coming in here and taking over your tool chest. Oh, somebody's got a little bit of fireworks going on in the middle of the day. That's pretty cool. What was that? Fake Ghost was able to loot the treasure box. Hey, good old Fake Ghost. So we want to put a roof on this thing. So I'm just selecting the floor triangle. The reason I'm not selecting the square floor because we used this type triangle foundation. So you want to match whatever's on the floor. Again, that's all wood. We don't want to leave it wood. Now, technically, you could go over here to your hammer and say, hey, I want all of this to be wood. Up 1, because wood is 1. Up, we're going up 1 grade. As you can see, I upgraded the roof to wood. Now, if you wanted here, you can see because I just placed it, demolish, sometimes you got a chance to demolish it. So as you can see, you can go through this way, you can completely demolish it also. There's lots of different, if we go back here to 6, whoops. You can also do like roof pieces also. You know, if let's say you wanted a kind of maybe more like an island kind of look to it, that's up this one, the wood. Oh, I'll show you what it looks like out here. Then you've kind of made like a kind of like a thatched roof kind of looking thing. So I upgraded it to 1 so it doesn't decay, but as you can see, that makes kind of a cool, you know, aesthetically looks pretty cool. You got like some regular shingle looking building pieces. This is nothing huge. This base is very small, but I like to use triangle foundations for a base kind of like this. Now, since we do have a little bit of metal fragments, I'm going to make a sheet metal door. And I'm going to I'll show you an electronic lock, so show you the difference between the one that we put here. And as you can see, our building is decaying because we have wood up there. So I'm just going to throw in just enough to keep it going at the moment. One other thing that you do need once we do this door, and I'll show you here momentarily, when you go to place a door, of course, when it's blue, that will allow you to put it into the frame. Now, you can move your mouse left to right, and you can see you can have it open outward or open inward, so whichever you prefer. I usually kind of like it like this, inward. So hit your left mouse button. And this server, since I already had an electronic lock, you can see it automatically places it on the door in this case. But as you can see. Now, one thing you might want to do is, let's say, well, I built a new base and I'm going to need some of these pieces for my new base. Open your door, you know, while you're holding the hammer, aim your cursor, the dot at the lock, hold down E. As you can see, I can unlock with a code. I can also remove the lock, which I did, as you notice. There's no door there now. I can do the same thing, hold down E, and I can take the door with me. So let's put the door back up here. Normally on a modded server even, when you pick something up like that, it will cause a little damage. So as long as you have some, let's say, metal or whatever it takes to build that item, you can just bang on it. Same thing with the wall, the ceiling, anything. It doesn't matter. You can build things that way. As you can see, we now have some metal there, so we have to throw in a little bit of metal anyway. At least, well, we'll throw 29 in. Now, one thing we don't have here, and the one thing we're going to need is, we're going to need a sleeping bag or a bed. In this case, we don't know how to make a bed yet, but we do know how to make a sleeping bag. So select that. And like I said, push this star when you want something to show up in your favorites. So let's make that sleeping bag. 4. Again, if it's red, you can't put it down. If it's blue, you can. So you can hit your R and you can see how it's turning. You can use that on a lot of different items. So put it where you want it. Kind of out of the way. Left button. Now if you hold down the E, go up here to rename sleeping bag. I'm just going to call it starter. Modded servers usually have the ability to add homes. So you would say like home, add, starter, right down there in chat. you have set one of a maximum of 6 homes. So what that means is if I was to die, you have the ability to either just respawn randomly, or you have the ability to pick a sleeping bag or bed around the map, wherever you have a base or a sleeping bag. I like to keep my starter bases. You build a box, kind of like, let's see if we can find, let's build a box. Or, again, the same thing if it's red. Now, if you notice right on the front of the box is that little strip of wood. You want that to be aimed where you can get to it. If you want to put a lock on your box. Now, since I didn't have a lock handy, now you can use the key lock or you can use the code lock, which uses a 4-digit code. Now, in this case, we're going to choose 4 down in the hotbar. Hold down E, just like we did earlier. Once you hit left, hold down the E, and as you can change the lock code. So you can make this, whatever you wanted it to be. It doesn't matter. But this is sometimes a good thing to have. Maybe throw some food in here. Maybe throw a weapon. You could throw a weapon in here. If you had it, you could make a second bow, have one thrown in here. That way, if you die and you respawn at your sleeping bag in your starter home, you'll have some things in here already. We could throw some food in there, because when you die, you don't have many hit points, you don't have much water, and you don't have much in the way of your food. So another good thing to have when you have a good amount of cloth, like we do right now, is we can make clothes, which we're going to do here momentarily. All of this stuff I need to save for recycle. I'm going to keep this torch for right now, but as you see, we're getting a little more collection of stuff we can recycle. For right now, I am just going to throw this. As you can see, it works in here, so. But if you go to our crafting menu, things will highlight what you can make. It's always good to make some bandages. That way, if you're bleeding or dying, you can heal yourself to some degree. For instance, right now, it shows we can make these clothes items. So let's go ahead and make one of everything. So right now we have, as we know, hazmat and 858 and 5. So we start putting this in here. You'll start to see our protection start going back up too. Throw some pants on. Now this is the most basic of clothing. As you can see, we're protected a pretty good bit from the cold and from wild animals. Now, a lot of servers also have not sure what it'll be called here, but could be skin box. Oops. Yeah. So if you type in the Virgil skin box, you can take things like your pants, for instance, that we just had recently made, and you can change the skin so they look different. Wow. those are some wild pants. I think I'll go more of a... Wow, what's this? The disco era of how about just some black pants? Yeah, that's better. But as you can see, you can do that with the different items of clothing that you're having. You got a different look. So, you know, you might be a newbie and you just started on this server, but you don't have to really dress like you're a brand new. Now, some things won't work on here. The gloves, for instance, didn't work. And then you can really change how you look. I kind of like this one here. Kind of got that dark theme going on, but skin box, always a good thing. I like to keep my building plan, the ladder over here. I'm just going to save that up there just in case. I'm not sure how bad this server is for radiation. I haven't been near anything. So if we look on the map here, red is some kind of event going on, but red means it's very hard. You can see this is a PvE, Snowy Nightmare rateable base. Here's one, Fake Ghost Medium rateable base. It's wild, they have a, what was this? Oh, a scientist suit. But different servers have different things. But usually if you do /info, oops, info, you go to your server commands, in this case. Oh, there's that get wood instead of charcoal. That I could have found the answer to my question if I would have checked the info. You can buy a raid. That up command I've used a little bit. Skin box, we just use that. You could recycle on the go. I didn't realize that. My mini, okay, you can spawn a mini chopper. The shop, let's check out the shop /shop. And you can go in here and you got different things that you can choose from. Now, you currently, as in myself, have 33,110 coins to spend in the command shop. As you see here, what some people have been doing is you can order this stuff to fight. Everything from buying an airdrop for everybody, randomized mass drop. That's under the command section. Attire, we can make some clothes. For instance, if you want some gloves or whatever the case may be, you can just buy them here. I will buy some boots. Miner's hat I'll buy just because it's always good to have. I wonder if I can change that. Oops. Try the skin box. As you see here, there's 2 whole pages of boots that you can kind of choose from. I think in this case I like this blue look to them. I don't know, they look kind of strange. Oh, look at, you got skeleton feet. I mean, however you want to make your look, the skin box is a great thing because you can really kind of make your character look however you want your character to look. Wanted some more blacker. See what that one looks like. Good. Yeah. And we'll just stick with that one for right now. And now we have shoes you can recycle, throw away. And as we saw, REC, you make your own recycler. Look at that. Wow. How simple that was. And I forgot to check that with the skin box. Not too many to choose from, but we'll choose the dark one here. But this comes in handy. I'll put a little in there. Hit F once you give this thing some fuel. And you can see it in the dark. Somebody put a ladder in somebody's base. But as you can see here, if it's real dark, also you get all sorts of weather, as you can see right now. Oh, this is Christmas time, so if you are on a modded server that has these Christmas presents, grab these always. Because you can get food in there, you can get stone, you can get a little bit of everything. And now you see why I grabbed that. Oh, come on. The miner's helmet. You can see the sun's about ready to come up on this rainy day. Now to show you, well, here's some more. Usually don't get that many of these. There's my little base up there. If you do home, and we just called it starter. I'll be up there in 7 seconds. Don't do like me a lot of times. Make sure you hit F again to turn that miner's hat off so you don't use up all your fuel. In that particular case, I don't think it's really using it. You can upgrade these at 10, so we'll upgrade. We can do one more. We'll save that one here. But this we can upgrade. So we get one bigger present, or large present. You can unwrap this once you get to the large. Well, look at that. We got us a hollow sight. Very nice, very nice. We got us a weapon laser sight. And we got us a silencer, a suppressor. So this is really the best weapon that I have at the moment. So you can throw this even onto this See? Put this here. Also, we can put a suppressor. Oh, no, it won't let me do a suppressor. But so now, as you can see, I got a little hollow sight. Makes aiming a little easier and better. If you hit F, I can turn on the laser because I have a laser sight on here also. So you can really be more accurate. Well, I'm going to stop this video right here, and I hope you learned maybe one or two things. If you enjoyed this video at all, put down below, and I can make more of these. And I'll try out different servers along the way, and there's kind of our cool looking little base. There's a nice little starter base. Doesn't take much resources, doesn't take much to keep it going, and it's large enough in there to put a couple workbenches down also. But until next time.